What is going on, guys? It's How, and we just got done hanging out at the New York Fan Festival live stream. Not in person, but on my Twitch channel. We all hung out together, and this is going to be a recap for some of the more major things. They did do some games and stuff, some giveaways, and I think they did tally them up at the end. I don't think we'll be covering any of that stuff, but we're going to be covering the content and the questions that I thought were the most relevant and prevalent questions that were asked at the live stream, as well as content that's coming up and what I think about it. So let's get into this recap right here real quick with the first one. The one no one's going to like the answer to. When will expert missions be implemented? So the answer they gave us to this was soon. TM, soon, very soon, sort of thing. So no actual time designation. They're still trying to figure out how to put them in there. I didn't really like the answer to this question at all, obviously, because it's not really an answer. But on that note, the other question they did answer as well was the whole story lapis reset thing, and they gave a very nice answer to that question. They said soon to that one too, but then later on they went into more explanation and detail on it, and it turned out way better than I thought it would be. So even better than I thought, it would be if they just gave us a world reset, and I'll go over that as well. So it gives me some higher expectations for the expert mission reset, but we'll have to see about that one. Some of the other questions they did ask was something about the connection issues. That was something to do with the ISP they were using and the service provider, and it was pretty much like a pathway issue. It wasn't their server, so they didn't have any direct contact over how to fix it. It's pretty much like if you have like a dead node, right? From your place to like a video game data location center, there's like a dead node on the pathway there. They can't really fix it because it's not their territory, so have to kind of depend on someone else to fix it for them. They tried to get that established and fixed as soon as possible. And then they were talking about extended maintenance, which went on for forever, and I honestly didn't really care about that. They were talking about collaboration units from Nier Automata, Deus Ex, Just Cause, getting ability awakenings or 7-star awakenings. No real answer there either, sadly. So the Q&A thing wasn't really the greatest thing at all, but they did answer this one question that a lot of you guys might like. Kind of. It was kind of sad for me, though, too. So when's the next amazing enhancement campaign? When will it be held? It's been quite a long time. And quite a long time actually means quite a long time. The last time we got amazing enhancements was, I think, right before or right after we got the ability to actually fuse Cactar. So that's a long time. It's like 2 years almost for the ability for us to get the amazing enhancements. They're going to try to add it more often, and they want to add it more often on the JP version as well as the global version. So that's going to be fine. And then I'm going to answer this question with you guys. Is it okay to sell Prism Moogles once they've reached 100% Trust Master? Yes. Yeah, 100% a Prism Moogle somewhere, throw them away. It doesn't matter if you got it from, breaking a unit apart or what. Yeah, you can throw them away. We're done with that question. That question's over. You don't need to hang on to them for any reason. They're never going to implement something for you to turn them in or anything like that. If you want to hang on to them, great. Now we have some information about Black Friday. So I'm not going to go too much into it. They talk about Black Friday bundles and all this other stuff. I will talk about this one really quick here so we can kind of get an idea of what they want to price certain things at. So Black Friday special, $99.99, 25,000 Lapis, 10+1 premium ticket summon, which is 4-star or higher, which isn't really that big of a deal. And then a ULC ticket. So pretty expensive. Good value, though, if it's someone who buys Lapis in the game. Usually it's, $100 for 18,000 or whatever. But the one thing that made me go, okay, is how expensive is this going to be? If that is $100, and everyone on chat, we're on the same page. There's going to be this reroll type 10+1 summon. It's going to be paid paid only. So, yeah. But how expensive is this going to be? Are we going to see something more than $100 in FFBE? I'm not sure, because this thing is actually outrageous if it's not incredibly expensive, which it has to be. So there's going to be a physical type banner, a magic type banner, and a support type banner. And when you go to roll on it, you'll get your roll, and if you don't like it, you can re-roll again up to 9 times on the same banner. So it's like a re-roll thing that you pay for. And then what else happens is not only is it the physical type, magical type, and support type, and not only do you get the re-roll on the banner, you're guaranteed a 7-star unit and a 100% super trust Moogle of that unit as well for the guaranteed 7-star. And that's going to be the plus one, I guess, is going to be the guaranteed 7-star unit. So you're going to get a character as a 7-star with their 100% super TMR Moogle. And you can reroll that 9 times, and it's separated between physical attackers, magical attackers, and supports. And then they didn't really say this, but with the new summon pool system, it should be the new smaller summon pool as well. So like all the newer units only, and then not only is it going to be the newer units, but it'll be separated between physical, magical, and support. So I expect this to be ridiculously expensive. And I have no idea what to say about it outside of it's probably just going to be absolutely massively expensive when it comes to that stuff. So moving from that though into the new events and stuff, they're going over this new Black Friday special quest. We're gonna have an event for Black Friday. Actually, most of the time we don't actually have an event for Black Friday. This time we're gonna have an event in a 2 weeks of different banners, I do believe. So they didn't say if they were time limited or if I missed. They were time limited. The equipment here is obviously because it's a time limited event, but they didn't say about the units, and the units are pretty cool. And I do kind of like what they're doing with here, and they actually are exploring a little bit more design space with these units. And it's going to be, here's your time limit equipment. There's going to be a second week boss. It's like a mimic treasured thing. This QR code here is actually the Logitech cipher. If you QR scan it, we scanned it because we were curious to see what it was. It actually takes you to their Final Fantasy Brave Exvius Facebook page if you scan that with a QR scanner, which I thought was pretty funny. And also, apparently, to me and some other people in chat, the nano weave vest that you can see there, I thought it looked like Adam Jensen's face because the chest pads are like his glasses, and then like the pelvic areas like his like machine chin or whatever. I don't know. It's like, it's Adam Jensen. He's getting an enhancement. But what are the units? What are these units going to be? So the units right here, they're going to be talking about here. There's going to be 4 because there's 2 different banners. There's going to be a first week and a second week. I think the first 2 units they showed, they said were the second week units. But we have Agent Olive here for a Black Friday unit. And they have a new type of ability. And so we might be seeing this new type of ability on other units in the future. And I'm actually looking forward to this sort of ability here. They're called Magnus Abilities. You can think of them as like super cooldown skills, basically. And what you can see here is that not only are they like a cooldown skill, but they have an actual limited use per battle to use. So Magnus is the Blackout ability, which is the Magnus ability for Agent Olive, decreases fire and dark resistance for all enemies and deals an extremely high amount of physical damage to all enemies. But then she sacrifices herself after the attack. So kind of like a normal Olive skill. Now, obviously nothing's set in stone here, but they said the multiplier for this skill is 150 times. 150 times mod. That's pretty big. So I like this as a design standpoint because it's really strong, but she can only use it 1 time. So this is a way for them to give certain units a bunch of different skills. And each of these different units, the Black Friday units, they all have a Magnus skill. And it'll be kind of interesting to see if they use this Magnus ability thing to buff up future units, right? Because it's a nice way to explore design space and be like, this unit is kind of old, right? Maybe they want to give an EP skill, a Magnus ability, as an EP skill to like an older unit. Maybe when they redesign units, they'll give the Magnus abilities. But it's pretty interesting in that they're not all only limited to 1 use only. Some of them have like limited 2 uses or limited 3 uses. Depends on how strong the skill is, and it gives them a way to balance units based around this incredibly powerful skill that you can use a limited amount of times, period. So that's her Magnus ability, and then she's got a TMR advanced weaponry. It's Buster style with a 1 to 3 limit burst gauge crystals per turn, unstackable of course. So that's going to be her TMR. It's pretty fantastic. We're still looking to get a true double hand unit, which Agent Olive is. And then her super TMR is the Black Sparky, 174 attack, 2-handed. Then it has enables customized models and ability, and I do believe they said that this is going to give you attack percent in limit burst damage as a passive. So incredibly powerful super TMR there for the Black Friday unit. Pulling out all the swag bags there on Black Olive. They also went into some more of her kit, but that's basically a TLDR on her. And they go into the Magnus ability thing, which we kind of already talked about. The next unit that they talked about, and I know a lot of you guys out there are really going to be hyped for this one. Mastermind Zahn. Mastermind Zahn here. So his Magnus ability is the Black Mirror. They're all Black Friday units, so I think they're all black something. Magnus ability removes certain beneficial effects from an enemy and then copy those effects to himself. And apparently not only does his Magnus ability have this sort of like copy effect, but some of his other skills, based on what they were talking about, they can kind of like copy other effects and other buffs that are on your party already and give them to him. So it's going to be like a really weird kind of a mastermind thing where he technically has like every imbue in the game as long as you have someone else that also has the imbue, right? If you have like a CG Elena in your party who has 4 different imbues, then Zahn also will have 4 different imbues because you can imbue with Elena and then copy the imbue with Zahn and so forth. He also is apparently going to have a limit burst that chains with CG Rain's limit burst. He's also going to be a Stardust Ray chainer. I think he has some other chaining frame families in there as well. And so not only does he chain limit burst with CG Rain, but I did bring up Elena. Elena's limit burst does chain with CG Rain's pretty well as well. So that's another thing he can do there. His TMR is the Untraceable Phone. Enables the Bounty Call, not Booty Call, Bounty Call, which gives you some rare item finder and stuff like that. It also gives you Libra. Unfortunately, he is a damage dealer, and his TMR is Untraceable Phone, and it looks to be like an accessory. So if you're using him as a unit and you want to proc his trustability, you have to see what his trustability is. You're using an accessory slot instead of like a materia or something. It's got no attack on it. It's got nothing of that nature. And he's going to be a true dual wield unit too. So his STMR is the Crimson Butterfly with 165 attack and enables you to dual wield. So his TMR and Super TMR are kind of underpowered. We'll have to see how he is as a unit. He sounds like it could be kind of cool. But I know a lot of you guys out there have been waiting for a 7-star Zon. And 7-star Zon, he's here. Black Friday, he's coming. So it's going to be week 2 of Black Friday. And then apparently week 1 is going to have Dr. Aiden in it. Magnus Opus, Dr. Aiden. I don't know, Magnus Opus. It made me think of Arden, actually. He looks just like Arden, kind of, but he's like evil Aiden. He's a healer. Look how mad. Look at those brows. Look at his eyebrows, man. He's in here. But he's got a Magnus ability, Operate Black Solve. Grants an extremely powerful barrier to an ally, recovering the ally's HP and MP to full and removing status debuffs from that ally as well. And you can use 2 times per battle. So like I'm saying, these Magnus abilities are pretty cool design space because they allow you to do some crazy stuff like limit burst tier, or maybe even stronger than limit burst tier stuff. But you have to be very careful when you want to use them. And it's going to be very interesting to see, you know, how strong a unit is going to be once they are out of their Magnus abilities. If a unit has like a really strong Magnus ability, like incredibly powerful Magnus skill, but like it's kind of toned down everywhere else, or if it's going to be they have a really good kit and then they also just have an incredibly powerful Magnus skill. His TMR is Aiden's Trenchcoat, which is incredibly powerful as well. Gives you 65 spirit, 25 defense. For Aiden only, it gives night camouflage, which I do believe they said was auto refresh. And then what is enabled for everyone is dark disguise, and it gives you immunity to all status ailments. So it's kind of like CG Fina's headpiece, the Lotus Mage Fina headpiece, but you can wear it in your body slot instead. So if you don't have, you know, CG Fina's headpiece, you want something like this for one of your characters, this is going to be a good TMR to go and get as well. His medical staff is his super TMR here. Gives HP plus 15%, 155 spirit, 6 defense, 12 attack, and I forget what sedative does. Something to do with healing, probably. They also said he's got like a decent amount of dodge, and he's true dual wield spirit as well. I think they said maybe it was true double hand spirit. They kept kind of mixing, mashing true double hand and true dual together to like true dual hand, which I was very confused at some points. I've never heard it called true dual hand. Apparently it's something they call it on the JP live streams. But the last character here is actually going to be Operative Xyrus, and his TMR looks to be super top tier as well. Magnus ability is blacklisted, grants himself a very high modifier bonus to his abilities for a very short time. So limited one use. They also say that as limit burst upgrades, once you meet certain criteria, the criteria might just be having it boosted by blacklisted, who knows. His TMR is top operative, which gives you plus 20% magic when equipped with a rod, then plus 30% unconditional magic and MP, and then plus 50% true double hand magic. So this looks like a very strong TMR for true double hand mages if you're looking for that there. That's if you're using a rod that's 50% magic and 50% true double hand magic and 30% all MP in one TMR. His super TMR is the holographic transceiver, gives you 175 magic, 20 attack, 20 spirit, and then enables Draco Slayer and Mecha Slayer, which I do believe is magic and or Magic Slayer for dragons and machine monsters. So those were the 4 units here. I don't know if they'll be introduced the same time that crazy reroll thing's going on. I would assume that if those units are in this reroll thing, it's going to incentivize people to do this reroll banner more. So I think it would be pretty dumb if they didn't do that from a business standpoint, whatever. But who knows if they're going to be in there or not. So if you were going to ask me that question, I have no idea about that. But those 4 units were looking pretty powerful. And then they were talking about this. So January 2020, this is the World Story Quest mission. So this is going to be our story reset here. And this is everything in the whole world that I could have wanted for the story reset. So the story reset, instead of going in and having to clear each individual story node, right? Like do all of the Earth Shrine, right? There's Earth Shrine entrance, Earth Shrine exit, and then Earth Shrine exploration, and doing all of the different missions inside of the Earth Shrine, right? Which the first one for clearing it gives you 20, and then the 3 separate ones underneath it give you 10 each, and then that's one of the stages that gives you 50, and there's another stage that gives you 50, and then another stage that gives you 50. Instead of having to do all of that and doing all those individual missions, what we're doing now, there's going to be story quests where it's just going to be like how we have it right now for the beginner, expert, advanced missions. And the intermediate quest that want you to go and do one specific thing. Like this one is clear Earth Shrine exit, and it's going to give you 150 lapis as you go and clear Earth Shrine exit. So you don't have to worry about doing any of the little quests or anything like that. And it's going to give you, based on what they said and based on what we checked with how much lapis each of these nodes gave us, we checked it, I did anyway, on the app while we were watching. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So any sort of lapis you're going to get a 1-to-1 ratio of what you would have gotten if you would have completed each of the little individual story mission resets all the way through. So instead of having to make sure for Earth Shrine, like an example I already brought up, instead of going and doing, 12 different individual missions, like use Libra, blah, 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 use wind damage, make sure you get a chain, and double checking all of that for every story node in the entire game, instead of having to worry about doing any of that stuff, it's just going to be go beat Earth Shrine exit, go beat Ladius Woods South, go beat Delnaka Cave Demon's Lair, go beat the East Gates and Delnaka Plains. Just very simple stuff to go 1, 2, 3, runner, gunner, dunner. And I don't even know what that state, runner, gunner, dunner, whatever. But I cannot wait for this to be implemented. Now, there is one downside here, possibly, who knows, because we haven't seen the whole thing yet. But one downside that there could be, and I kind of expect it to happen, is that the Esper Quests, right, the Esper nodes, in the world where it's like go beat Titan hard mode, go beat Titan normal mode, go beat Titan extreme mode, whatever it is. Some of those gave you like a rare summon ticket or so, and those were affected by the story resets. So we'll have to see if the story world story quest mission has those tickets and stuff in there or not. We don't know if they will or not. I don't think they said anything about if they will or not, but this is super awesome because I was kind of waiting for the story reset for the lapis. But at the same time, man, like going through all of those story nodes, making sure that I've gotten the right element, doing the right chains, summoning Esper, summoning the right Esper, bringing the right character, using Mirror of Equity, all this other, like for every mission in the game is so tedious. I hate it so much. But seeing something like this, I can't wait for it because that's just going in there doing it. And at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't done yet, that I've missed it when I was playing the game for the first time, where it's like, I didn't use Bio 3. I didn't do a wind damage attack because I didn't have that stuff at the time and I didn't really care. So there's like a couple pieces of lapis laying around too. So I'll be able to pick that stuff up too if I want to while I'm doing the World Story Quest mission table. So this is pretty cool. I cannot wait for this. I'm really excited that that's getting added to the game in that way. And that's kind of what made me excited for, not excited, but more lenient on them, being like, we don't know, we're gonna put expert missions in yet. So like maybe maybe they are gonna give everything we expected in expert missions. They're just doing it in a weirder format. I appreciate the whole quest format for this, I really do. They talked about season 3 moving into season 3 as well. If you guys don't know yet, season 3, it's gonna be about Fina. There's 3 new characters that Fina's gonna be interacting with. She's going to have a free Blue Mage unit that's going to awaken to 7-star for free as you go through the story. She's going to learn new abilities as you go through season 3 story. I've talked about this before when this happened in JP. So if you kind of know about JP, then you already kind of know what this unit entails. So she's going to be a totally free unit you get right away when season 3 starts. Then she just can learn more and more and more blue magic. She kind of learns magic that is unique to her, but it's blue magic themed. So instead of like Kiraga, she's got like White Wind and stuff like that. And then she'll eventually get like a 7-star form, and then she'll eventually get like a CG Limit Burst and all this other stuff. You don't have to worry about anything as far as, getting a second copy of her or anything like that, like on a banner. They talked about adding Dark Visions eventually one day, which if you don't know about Dark Visions, we've talked about this on the channel before. But it's basically about beating a certain boss in a certain way and trying to get a certain criteria. You're judged on the damage you do, the damage you took back, the amount of times your party members died, how many turns it took you to beat it, and how many chains you did. So it's kind of like this. It's not like a speed mode, but it is like a speed mode, right? It's how clean and fast can you kill this boss, and that's what you're going to get graded on for the Dark Vision. So that's going to be pretty cool there as well. They also talked about some other stuff here. They did the fan unit design contest stuff. I already made a video on this. Really weird though, Liliane apparently didn't win buffer. I'm not sure why she didn't win buffer, because when I checked and when we checked again on stream, she had Bulwark beaten votes by a lot. So I'm not sure. Lillian was the one character that I really wanted out of all 6 of them the most, obviously. But people who wanted Bulwark, I know a lot of you guys were commenting, "Where's Bulwark? I want Bulwark." He did win the buffer category after all. Now, that's not the only stuff that they talked about here. I missed it early on. I do believe they talked about something else here as far as content is going to be decided that I was really happy and excited for. And it's going to be the fixed party battle. And I like this for a lot of reasons out there. Multiple reasons. So the fixed party battle is going to be a battle against a boss where you have to use a party that's given to you. Everyone gets the same units, all the units have the same gear, etc., etc., etc. So I like this because it puts everyone on the same playing field. It's really about strategy and possibly a little bit of luck depending on how the fights work out. They said it's going to be really hard, but if you're a newer player, this is something that you're going to be able to do, because the units are given to you, right? You get to use 7 stars and all this other stuff. You get maybe some gear that you don't have access to, and you're going to be able to go in there and do a strategy. Obviously, it's going to help people who create content, Reddit, Facebook, YouTube, myself, Twitch, whatever. We're going to be able to go in there and make guides for this kind of stuff. That's going to be pretty cool. But the thing that I like about it the most is that it'll put everyone on the same playing field, and I think comments will start going from "GG, you're a whale, that's why you beat it easy," to "GG, you're luckier than I am, that's why you beat it easy." I'm just saying, that's probably what it's going to come down to. You got lucky, bro. Your character covered, mine didn't, I died. That's what it's going to come down to. I don't know how it's going to be, but it does get better than this as well. As you can see, they're early screenshots and character details, but it's like a growing monster, and they give more details on it afterwards. Poor little Rain with his little tiny sword right here. I don't understand. But it's going to be a new, like a series boss thing where like the first fight you do is a fixed party, the second fight you do is a fixed party, and then the final fight isn't a fixed party anymore. That's where you get to use your own characters, and those are supposed to be ridiculously difficult. But on top of that, the other cool thing, and the reason why I mentioned that I really like that anyone can do it, and I think it's a good idea they did it this way, is that there's community missions. So based on how many people, how many different accounts and stuff clear the fixed fight 1, the fixed fight 2, and the free fight, everyone that plays the game gets rewarded. So everyone gets the same, remember, everyone has the same characters, the same gear for the first 2 fights. So if you can find a strategy, find a guide somewhere out there, talk with your friends on Discord, all this other stuff. Maybe you don't watch content creators. Maybe you don't visit the Reddit. Maybe you don't go to Facebook, any of this other stuff. Maybe it's just you and your friends and your pals. If you have someone that's brand new to the game and you're a well-worn vet and know the ins and outs of a lot of stuff like this, you can help them out and they can get the rewards for beating it. Then they can get the rewards from everyone beating it. It's pretty cool that way. They might not be able to beat the final version, but they can get the first 2 done because they're not held back by being new. And that I was kind of talking to some people actually earlier today before the live stream, and I was like, my biggest problem with FFBE right now is that there's like 2 giant gaps in difficulty from a new player coming into the game. Like everything's either going to be like super easy for you or it's going to be like super difficult for you, right? We have all like the King Mog stuff and even like the older trials, right? Like normal Gilgamesh and stuff. Like a lot of people can get a 7-star friend unit in all those older trials, one-shot them, get all the rewards, don't care about them. Do all the new, trials, raid bosses and stuff. Pretty easy. After you play the game for like a couple months, you're just, all those bosses have like 4 million HP. You have someone with like a 50% break. You just start one-shotting the bosses over and over. You try to go do like a hard, difficult trial, like a series bonus boss battle, or like a Chamber of the Indignant or whatever after Gilgamesh Kai. You're getting booty blasted. You're not keeping up. So it's like this, it's either way too easy or you're getting absolutely destroyed. And I think this fits the mold perfectly to help tide people over between the incredibly difficult stuff and the incredibly easy stuff as far as content that's they're able to do as a trial goes. And the other thing that I do like about this, and actually we'll save that for a minute. We'll save that for a minute because we're not quite done talking about this, but talking about the whole peaks between difficulty and content, they also talked about that as well. So that's the same thing. You can see it. It's kind of here's the final art. So you can see it's kind of like a tower boss. It reminded me of like Kefka, to like the growing god tower Kefka, and hopefully we'll see more stuff like that. I'd be pretty amazed to see more stuff of that nature. They also talked about the not Trial of Vengeances. Yeah, Chamber of the Vengeful. So that's also the other thing that I really like about Chamber of the Vengeful is that, you know, a lot of the rewards are on not the legendary mode, but like the elite mode, right? The 5-star ticket and stuff's in there. Some of the armor's in there. In the medium mode. So it's not like, and that mode's not like super difficult. It's also like super easy, depending on what you're trying to do. And that's another mode that they're expanding on. So you can see Chamber of the Vengeful here, more extra challenges. Extra challenges are going to go up instead of 25 units to 50 units. They're going to add more emblems, right? Because I was always like, why is there a silver emblem for the max reward? That makes no sense. So they're adding more emblems. They're adding super TMR tickets, etc. More rewards of that nature. And all of you friends out there who have been gil capped at 100 million gil, you're going to be good, dude, because it's going to be 200 million gil cap from now on. So I cannot wait. A lot of the stuff that I really wanted talked about got talked about, right? They talked about the expert missions finally. It's coming eventually, but it's coming. They talked about Lapis Reset, and I really liked the way they did the Lapis Reset, because it's something I wanted to participate in, but I did not want to participate in at all. Content-wise, we have the new fixed battle system, which I think is amazing. I think that's really well thought out. Now, the problem with the fixed battle system is it's got to be remotely balanced. You actually have to test that stuff for sure. He's like, it's got to be, you know, if you give me a party that actually can't beat that boss, I might be a little mad. And if the fights always come down to, am I lucky enough, right? Are you going to give me a 70% provoke and I just hope to not get punched in the face by other party members enough to beat it? That might make me a little upset too. But, you know, that kind of stuff, we'll have to see. That's the bridge, the bridge. That's the bridge we'll cross when we get to it. Whatever. I don't know if that saying is. I'm like 15. Who knows? That's an old saying. But anyway, and we have Dark Visions coming up for content as well. New characters look cool. New types of abilities with the Magnus Abilities looks awesome as well. And that's pretty much all I really needed to see. Oh, they also talked about, I forgot, they showcased, well, they didn't showcase, but they showed them off real quick. There is going to be, obviously, new Christmas units as well. So we have Lucas and Levinson, more hybrid attacker. So we have another hybrid attacker winter unit and another tank winter unit. Who would have thought? I don't know what it is. They always liked putting the hybrid attackers in winter, right? We had Aurora Fravia given away for free in the winter. We also had Felix in the winter as well. And now we have Lucas the tank, White I Know the tank. Who knows what's going on? I'm not sure. But I really enjoyed this event. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I didn't make it there in person, but, you know, we all hung out together. It was a good time. And let me know what you think about this kind of content coming out. I can't wait. A lot of it was, you know, December. I think they said that one of the fixed battles is coming out. Don't misquote me on that. But December, January for a lot of the stuff. So that's coming up really soon. I mean, it's it's already halfway through November. So I can't wait for this kind of stuff. It's looking pretty good. FFB's been going in a more and more positive direction. And there's all like the freebies that are given out and stuff. There's 10+1 tickets and 5-star EXs that we all are getting. There's other EX tickets. There's Lapis. They're giving out a little bit of Lapis, not a whole lot. But there's some Lapis coming out. So like some free giveaways, but the content stuff, I'm really looking forward to it. We'll have to see what these units are. There's no collaboration talk or anything like that. That's kind of what they skipped out on. If I've a little bit helter-skelter, it's because I'm trying to make sure that I've covered everything, because it was a 3.5-hour event. They had like a little bit of a break, and I'm trying to separate what was worth talking and what wasn't talking. But I think I got it all in there, guys. So let me know what you think about any of the stuff we covered here. If I missed anything that was super major, let me know down in the comment section below. Hashtag Team Lastful Shelly. We got it, boys. We convinced the crowd. Anyways, that's the code talk there. Don't get me banned. Leave a hit the sub button and turn notifications on.